Well, I finally done it. Reached video number 1000. And quite an accomplishment. Figured, well, done a lot of updates during my other milestones as I've reached this point, but thought I'd maybe do a little bit of a rundown about me and my background. And let's see, I'm outside here enjoying a fall day. Originally I'm from Buffalo, New York, and lived there, well, since I was born till about 1977, 78. The blizzard, if some will probably remember, or you can probably look it up. There was a great blizzard in 1977 that hit Buffalo, and that kind of was a change in our family's lives, so to speak, because we wound up moving not long after that and moved to Memphis, Tennessee for a couple of years. I was 8 years old at the time when that blizzard hit, and yeah, lived in Memphis for a couple of years. I didn't really like it there. Kind of funny, I had a pretty good northern accent back then, and we moved to like the heart of Dixie and didn't make too many friends there, and was really glad to move out of Memphis. It was 78 to 80, and then we moved here south of Charlotte back in 1980, and pretty much lived here ever since. Yeah, graduated, from high school here, and wound up going in the military. In fact, I'll show you some of my plaques that I got and tell you about my Navy career. Alright, here we go. This is my little, I guess you could say, wall of fame. These are my plaques from nuclear submarines that I used to be attached to back from 1988 to 1992. Yeah, served 4 years during the end of the Cold War, so to speak. And a lot of my submarines are, well, all of these submarines are decommissioned now. They were on their way out when I got in. The very first one there is the USS Andrew Jackson, SSBN 619. The one next to it is the USS George Bancroft, SSBN 643. The one in the middle here is the USS Ray. That's SSN 653. That was the only fast attack that I was attached to. And then this was my fourth sub, the USS Casimir Pulaski, SSBN 633. And finally was the USS Henry L. Stimson, SSBN 655. So I was on a total of 5 submarines in 4 years, which was kind of unheard of. Back then, they were kind of wondering if I was a bit of a problem sailor, or why I would be on so many different subs. And really it was just I was kind of in limbo when this was all part of the SALT II agreement with Russia back when it was the Soviet Union. We would be decommissioning our subs in open view of their satellites to show them we were keeping in agreement with the treaty, and these class of submarines were part of that program. So very first one, the Andrew Jackson there, that was already being cut up when I arrived. And I was originally a quartermaster. It's basically a navigator on board, where I plotted navigation of our course and also drove the submarines. So all 5 of these submarines I actually drove at one time. So yeah, didn't really get to see a whole lot of ports. Mostly just out at sea, patrolling the mid-Atlantic Ocean there, and a little bit of the Caribbean, but didn't get too many ports. The fast attack, the USS Ray here, was the only one, and this is me back in March of 1990. when I was standing watch on board the USS Ray there, and in the background is Gibraltar. Yep, Gibraltar, Spain. I actually got to go there. And yeah, I actually got a piece of the rock, which apparently is illegal, but back then I didn't know. So it's kind of neat. And yeah, this is the sub when the USS Ray, when it was anchored off of Cannes, France. We got two ports, Cannes and Toulon, during a Mediterranean run from 1989 to 1990. And another side note, I was actually in Charleston, on the Charleston Navy base, when Hurricane Hugo hit. So I was there, ground zero, Category 4 hurricane, and yeah, spent my time there before going on my third submarine, the USS Ray, cleaning up the base. And that was a major, major mess. But, so, yeah, anyway, that's a little bit about my Navy career. Then, when I got out in 1992, I wound up going on to college, working odd and end jobs here and there, but got my honorable discharge, and then went on to get my 2 degrees. Got an associate's degree back in 1996, and then a 4-year degree in 2001. So, yeah, kind of educated, but the degrees have not really done a whole lot for me, you know. Unfortunately, I look more for trades and, you know, stuff of that nature, and I never really had a trade other than, you know, just a little bit of quality assurance and stuff of that nature. So, yeah, so other than that, I wound up starting a small business. You know, I met my wife in Iguala, Mexico, and yeah, so of course you remember my wife. That was when we were newlyweds, and yeah, we wound up getting married in Iguala back in January 2001. So, and ever since then, you know, we decided to start a small business catering to the Spanish-speaking community, whether it's taxes, translations, interpretations, and various other issues that the Spanish-speaking community has in our area. And been a pretty successful business. I mean, we had a good run for a while. Wound up, you know, having the last 10 years for the most part have been pretty decent. Just the last couple here, because of the economy, that it's gotten real bad where I've had to go back to work, and our business is no longer self-sufficient, but we're still in business. But yeah, so, you know, along with our business, I've of course build my own computers and do a lot of that work myself, which I've had to learn for the most part because of you know, our business. If a computer breaks down, you know, that kind of holds us up a little bit. But yeah, so yeah, of course, while we've been in business, we had a good run. We wound up going to Mexico quite a bit, and you know, that's where you've been seeing all my retro videos that I've been going through. Don't have very many left, just a few sitting there, and then I'll probably have those wrapped up before the year is out, before I head back to Iguala in December. So yeah, just a little gist of my life in a nutshell, the last 43 years. And you know, of course, my home, you know, I bought this back in 1996, and yeah, it's been a good home. I like it, you know. Just it's an old Mill Hill house built in 1938, and been renovating it ever since. So, and yeah, then of course built my mega shed last year. Nice workshop, kind of a man cave. But yeah, when I bought this house in '96, it was a hunk of junk. It wasn't far from being condemned. And now, after Well, 1996, it's now 2012, so the last 18 years. Had a new roof put on it back in 96, and it's coated in crap now. And we built our addition 2009. Vinyl siding I had put on when I bought the house because it was, again, in such bad shape. Painting was beyond trying to fix it. Done a lot of stone work, concrete work here and there, and just a lot of home improvements. So it's really turned out to be my home away, our home basically, and then Iguala is my home away from home, I should say. So yeah, really kind of cool. But yeah, anyway, back to my videos, and hope you enjoy them, all the retro videos that I do, along with all the current ones and stuff like that. I try to do some entertaining stuff, sometimes I don't always succeed, but I'm learning as I go. So anyway, thanks again, and continue to watch and enjoy my videos.